Don't block me now.
Don't block me, King Crimson, don't block me.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin, and I am very happy to be listening to 21st Century Schizoid Man, of course, we all know, by King Crimson, off of their album In the Court of the Crimson King, released in 1969. One of the most, if not the most, progressive rock album. You guys all know it, I'm sure, and you know what? I know it too. I've already heard this whole album. It's funny because the comments are always asking me, listen to this album, listen to the album. And I'm like, I already have. But listen, just because I've heard it doesn't mean that we can't do a song review. Doesn't mean that we can't listen to it again because, listen, I mean, it's a fantastic album, right? You guys already know King Crimson, copyright, block, all that stuff. Which is why I'm uploading the whole thing on Patreon. So if you want to listen to like the song and like everything, Patreon. Here on the channel, I'm just gonna like fast forward through the song. I'll try and keep in parts if I can, but listen, you guys know how it is. If I leave in too much, this video will not exist. But as I mentioned, for the Patreon, I'm never going to upload videos there that I wouldn't upload here. They might be edited because I don't want the videos blocked, but the content will always be here, you know, for free, as it should be. Anyways, you guys can join me on Twitter. You guys can join me in the comments down below. I hope that you have a fantastic day, a beautiful and wonderful morning. Let's do it. This is 21st Century Schizoid Man, finally, by King Crimson. So good. Okay, like, how can you not feel something from that song? Okay? I understand people don't like progressive rock. That's cool. You know, everyone has a thing or a thing that they don't like, okay? That song is like the epitome of progressive rock, of just like a good song in general. Forget labels. Forget progressive rock. 21st Century Schizoid Man is just like the epitome, the pinnacle, the zenith. It is the top of what music should be, okay? I feel like if you have never, if you have someone that's never heard of progressive rock, this would be like the perfect song to show them, okay? I feel like it's conventional enough that it's relatively easy to follow. There's not like a ton of change-ups or anything. But there's a lot of experimentation in it. There's some jazz in it. There's obviously high technicality that I think would impress whoever listens to it. This is just like, I don't like, I mean, I use this word a lot, but it is a perfect song. Let's not even beat around the bush, okay? It is a perfect song. But I feel like everything within it is perfect, okay? The distorted vocals. I really like the distorted vocals. I love the vocoder used in there. Mr. Lake, we know him, ELP. You know that I love his voice, okay? I love the way he sings in ELP, and it's no different here in King Crimson. And his bass playing as well at the same time is just off the charts. He does so much here, okay? Listen to, I mean, you can listen to really every member in this song, but listen to the bass playing, especially in the more jazzy and frantic moments. It is just insane. And even though he's kind of filtered through the effects and the vocoder and everything, you can still hear that he has an authoritative voice, okay? And he's not like yelling necessarily. I mean, he's yelling in the song, but he's not the authoritative type to like yell at you, but he has the voice that just commands, right? Even through the effects here. I love the stop-start section that it comes back and forth from. Fripp accenting and working with Greg on the vocals there, or not on the vocals, but his guitar backing up Greg's vocals. And I like how it's just bum, bum, bum. It's very drony, leaves so much space to play in later on, which they definitely do so in the song. They just play. I feel like an underrated member in this band, and especially in this song, is Mr. Giles, okay? Mr. Michael Giles on the drums. I know, like, you know, I'm sure people talk about him, but I mean, he needs to be talked about just a little bit more, okay? I don't really hear his name too much. And for him to be such a necessary component in this song, he is like a major part of why this song sounds so good 1969, sounds so good 2020, and further on for many more years to come. Okay, the drive that he has, the incredible versatility he has within the song, playing just heavy and during these dense moments, just like packing it all in. The way that he plays with the kick throughout is very modern. It's really cool. The drum soloing that he gets to kind of play around with later on. I mean, he is just versatile to the max. You can hear the jazz influence, you can hear the rock influence, hence you can hear the jazz rock influence in the whole song. This is pretty much, I don't want to necessarily say that it goes full on fusion, but there's definitely a heavy jazz influence in the song, along with, a heavy rock influence. The song just has intensity from beginning to end. It doesn't let up, and I feel like it doesn't rest. And even in the small moments where it does rest a little bit, like, it's still active. I mean, that is just an explosion, okay? I love how the music explodes out of that. After he does the scream, it just bum, bada, bum, bum, bum. And the horns are just amazing there. Ian McDonald, who we also know from Foreigner, and he's worked with Hackett as well. Ian McDonald has a huge part in the song. He has a huge part in the band and in the album. But like, he just like, he makes those heavy riffs even heavier, right? And I don't know 100% sure, but I mean, I would imagine at the time, you had heavy moments with horns, of course, in like orchestras and symphonies, but for them to carry that over, jazz, of course, fusion, of course, and then into rock, I feel like especially at that time was probably super, super, super unique. And even now it's still unique, but just the way that they did it. I don't know if they were 100% the first. I don't know the history behind it, so I can't say that. But whether or not they were the first, they were definitely like in the beginnings, and the quality. Like I said, it's still so good today. This song is going to be a classic forever, okay? I like how the horns and the guitar specifically play around each other, creating this really like interesting distortion effect. You hear Lake on the bass there, they're going, okay? It's almost like this interesting bandstand kind of swing that they're doing. Like I said, of course it's very jazzy specifically because of the drumming and the horns, the saxophone. But even in the big swing of things, even in that big groove, it's very jazzy. And then Greg gets some moments right here as well. Like I said, if you listen to his bass playing, especially along with the drumming, it's very standoutish. Fripp gets a solo as well. The song builds up and then just kind of releases, and then it builds up again. Like, it's extremely powerful. It's extremely well produced, well made. I wish that these songs were a little bit more accessible to a general audience, because like, it has found new life today. There's definitely a lot of people that are familiar with this song, even if they're not, head over heels in with progressive rock in general, especially due to Kanye's power. But like, I feel like it could be even bigger. Even in the more progressive sections, like here, like they're just playing. Here they're, like I said, they build a space, they build a playground in that space, and they're like, hey, let's go down the slides a little bit. Hey, want to swing on the swing? Swing on the swing. Like, this is just their little experimental, fun playground. It's just crazy, okay? Listen to the bass. He's double kicking, okay? I don't know if he has a double bass pedal, or he has two bass, or he's just using a single pedal and just ba 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 ba. Do you know how impressive that is? 1969, guys. Heavy metal was born. Like, the lyrics, which I actually have never really looked into. Cat's foot, iron claw, neurosurgeons scream for more. At Paranoia's poisoned door, 21st century schizoid man. Blood-racked barbed wire, politician's funeral pyre. Innocence rape with napalm fire, 21st century schizoid man. Okay, there's actually not a lot of lyrics in this song, but I feel like the lyrics that are in here are very like powerful. I'm getting the idea of Vietnam, only because innocence rape with napalm fire. Napalm, terrible thing, right? But that was used in the Vietnam War. So I'm getting the idea, especially in the first verse, neurosurgeons scream for more at Paranoia's poisoned door. So maybe looking for drugs that would help them deal with their schizophrenia that they perhaps gained in the war, PTSD, shell-shocked. If you guys have ever seen videos of people who have been shell-shocked, it's terrible. Just the effects that the war had on them, the effects that paranoia during the war, especially in Vietnam. I mean, with the Viet Cong and the underground tunnels, and I've watched lots of documentaries on that because I love history, and the paranoia that the soldiers would feel is otherworldly, and it would mess you up mentally. Absolutely. Blood rack, barbed wire, politician's funeral pyre. Death's seed, blind man's greed, poet starving, children bleed. Nothing he's got he really needs, 21st century schizoid man. So the things that he has, he doesn't even need. So he needs something else. What does he need? He needs something, but it's not whatever he's got and whatever they're getting him or giving him. So I feel like this is just showcasing the terrible effects of war, and I would assume specifically the Vietnam War at that time. And 21st century schizoid man, schizophrenia, like I said, the paranoia that was just immense, especially in that particular war. You can easily see just how the music matches that. Especially now they're kind of getting it. I think near the ending, the riff at the end, it had a little more of a maniacal kind of darker tone to it. It really did sound a little more schizophrenic with the way the music moves. And now that I'm thinking about it, the music, as frantic as it was, did kind of depict maybe a little bit of schizophrenia, just the way it moved. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, of course, you can let me know in the comments down below. You can like it, you can share it. I'm sorry that I had to cut this for YouTube, but you guys know how it is. If you want to see the full thing, you can join me over on Patreon. You don't have to. The same videos are going to be on both ends, so you really don't have to. It's just an extra way of supporting the channel, to be honest. I hope that you guys have a fantastic day. Join me on Twitter. Join me in the comments down below. I'll talk to you tomorrow.